Happy Earth Day, guys.
Happy Earth Day.
Heck yeah. It's the Post Pro podcast. It's episode 44. It's Earth Day. And we're going to be talking about movies. So let's hop into it. Movie news. I don't really have anything to say, but I know, Noah, you said you have some movie news. So take it away with the movie news.
Well, I don't know if so all three of these were announced in the past week or so, but at least one of them was. So the Cannes 2021, at least a few of the movies. I don't know if this is, this probably isn't all of them, but this is at least, So Annette, the Leo Cura musical, starring Adam Driver and Marianne Cotillard, which I've been looking forward to. Written, but the music and the story is written by Sparks, which is interesting. Not necessarily that I'm a huge Sparks fan. I just think it's, interesting that a musical act is writing both the music and the story.
Yeah.
And they're not known for musicals. I think it's going to be fun. Who knows though? French Dispatch is also opening at Cannes. Cool. And so is Benedetta, the Paul Verhoeven lesbian nun movie. So three movies that I'm sure are all going to be great and incredible.
All right.
So I guess what I'm saying is we should go to Cannes.
Hey, let's do it. We could
why not?
monetize this video and that could send us to Cannes.
Yeah.
I'll be there. I'll see you guys there.
All right.
A couple 5 million more viewers.
Dude, there was some incredible movie news today, guys. You might have missed.
Okay.
I know. The only other thing I have is Paul Thomas Anderson's new movie has an official release date of December of this year. So
okay, sick.
Fingers crossed that they're not going to move it.
Nice.
Guys.
The only thing I saw that was kind of interesting, which we've kind of talked about this subject for a while now, but I saw that Sony and Disney reached a deal for the Spider-Man films to be on Disney Plus now, which is supposed to be
and Venom.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The whole Sony.
Well, it's not even just that. They also it's going to be a lot more Sony films too. Sony made a long-term deal with Disney in terms of they're putting even more on Disney Plus. So,
okay, interesting.
Big move.
Yeah, they're shaking hands.
Yep. So that's interesting. But we had some huge news today. I've been wondering where this movie has been, and it just made an appearance just out of fucking nowhere today, and it comes out in 2 months. The Conjuring 3 got a trailer and a poster today, and it looks okay, I guess. I just don't really know what to say. It's a prequel to all of the Conjuring movies. It's the prequel
really?
to the prequel to the pre. Yeah, it's the Warrens first it's the Amityville shit. They mentioned it in the second
That's
one. They've already so it's a prequel to both Conjuring movies, which I guess whatever.
Still have yet to see any other Conjuring films. I'd like to.
Conjuring 1 is great. Conjuring 2 is fine. Everything after that is very subpar.
Yeah. The only ones I want to watch are the main Conjuring movies.
You don't like The Nun?
Spin-offs.
The Nun was great.
Up, Thomas, shut the fuck up. That
Annabelle Creation?
Awful.
Oh, yeah.
Annabelle Creation actually isn't that bad. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I don't know. Yeah.
Also, Mr. James Cameron, he's praying for theaters to survive, so Avatar 2 can make billions of dollars. Quote from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Nice.
Also, Martin Scorsese's new movie has begun filming.
Oh yeah,
I did see that. Yeah.
Killers of the Flower Moon is its official title.
Right.
Also, Disney is working on a Jim Henson biopic.
Heard about that too.
Right.
Which again,
Muppet Man, is that the name of it?
Yeah, it's just me called Puppet Guy. Puppet Guy.
That'll be the Asylums. That'll be the Asylums, movie to go along with it.
And then ending off my little movie trek with the movie news, Mr. Joe Taslim, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He says he is signed on for 4 sequels as Sub-Zero in the Mortal Kombat movie. So if this movie is successful, they're gonna
definitely all 4 of them are gonna get greenlit, produced, and made. Yeah,
all I've heard, basically every review I've heard from Mortal Kombat is literally hey, it's fine, but it's just a setup for sequels. So yeah, that's what I've heard from every review I've watched on it.
Wow,
so
they must have a lot of confidence in this for whatever reason. That's weird.
It's
that's
Mortal Kombat.
A lot of movies,
Sure,
yeah.
Huge franchise, and it hasn't seen a new movie since the early 2000s. So I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it fucking opening day. So we'll see.
You going to theaters?
Yep.
Nice.
I'm seeing it in regular because I don't want to pay for IMAX or fucking Dolby because I know even that's not worth it. I just know seeing it on the big screen is gonna be fine. But yeah, nothing else really in the movie world going on that I saw, unless you guys saw something else. But
Thomas, did you have anything?
No.
No. All right.
I am
That's
the
it?
law.
What?
I am the law.
Interesting. He's
All right.
law.
Well, Sebastian, how about you started off the what we watched?
I watched like
It's okay.
2 movies probably.
You can talk about the Fast and Furious movies you forgot to talk about.
Well, no, I've talked about all of them. I decided to log them all for some reason. I was like, yeah, I'm very behind on logging shit on here. So I was just like, you know what? Let me just do all that real quick. So I just logged all the Fast and Furious movies, and I think, yeah, I only wrote about Fast 5 because it's the best one. So anyway,
we have Fast 6 lower than Furious 7. That pains me.
Well,
I liked some aspects of Fast 7 than I did compared to Fast 6 better.
The tank, though.
Especially, yeah, but the tank was so stupid. I'm sorry.
Really? No, I take 7 over 6.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm at.
The tank was cool.
Collin, dude.
6 is the best one. 6 is the best one.
No way, dude.
It is. You cannot convince me it's not.
I think you're just being overshadowed by the tank scene.
Like, yeah, that made the movie.
It was, dude, it's 5.
It's good.
5 legitimately was like the best one in terms of like an actual film.
Yeah, 5's like the only like really like good one.
It was like a Mission Impossible movie with the family, and it was good. So anyway,
family.
Literally the only 2 movies I watched this week. I watched Nobody in theaters with my dad because I was like, Dad, I think this is a movie we'd like to watch. And he was like, all right,
it's
son.
Literally, a movie about
like,
a dad. So,
he was like, all right, son, I trust you. And I was like, all right, I think we're going to have a good time. And you know what? It was a good time. Again, nothing incredible. It's just a fun action movie. The fight sequences in it are pretty great. Again, it's basically just John Wick, but if John Wick had a family and he had and he was a dad who has been out for a long time, and it's Bob Odenkirk. It's literally just John Wick. It's literally just John Wick. It's made by the same people that did John Wick. So there's a lot of John Wick isms because that's where action movies are now. It's like, we got to be the next John Wick every time. So again, it's a good time. Christopher Lloyd's in it, and I haven't seen Christopher Lloyd in a fucking movie in ages. I can't tell you the last movie that he was in, and I forgot he was in it. And then when he showed up, I was like, holy shit, that's right, Christopher Lloyd's in this movie, and he kicks ass. There's like a whole sequence with him, like just shooting people in the face with a shotgun, and he's just reloading it like super fast. And he's like, dude, it's honestly just a blast. Highly recommend watching it. I'd like to see another one, honestly. Bob Odenkirk is just such a great actor. He's one of my favorite actors. So pretty much anything that he is in, I will watch. So yeah, great time.
What if they did a Nobody John Wick crossover? How would you feel?
I'd love it. I'd totally be in for it. Yeah, because the thing is, I mean, they kind of set it up like it could be in the same universe, but they don't explicitly say it, but they could totally cross over Bob Odenkirk and Keanu. That would be pretty fucking awesome. I'm not going to lie. And then cross over the family.
Oh shit!
John Wick and the family. Yeah. But anyway, and then technically we watched Fate of the Furious this week, right? Or we haven't talked about that yet. Okay, yeah, Fate of the Furious. Yeah, fuck that movie. I thought it was definitely, out of every Fast and Furious movie, the worst. It is the worst Fast and Furious movie. And it's really weird because it's actually like pretty rated. It's got like a 3. It's got 21,000 3-star ratings on Letterboxd, which it is not a 3-star movie. It's like, for me, it's like a 1.5. I think that's what I gave it. Let me make sure. That's what I gave it, 1.5. Very underwhelming film. Awful sequences for the most part. None of them were very memorable. The submarine was ridiculous and was just, I didn't care about anything that was going on. The only thing I legitimately, and I'm serious when I say this, enjoyed in the entire movie was Roman crashing the Lamborghini into the water and then coming out on the fucking
Oh,
car
on
door,
the car
and he's
door.
getting shot at, and he's like, and then he like puts it up and he's like using it as a bullet shield. That was the only time I actually enjoyed watching the movie.
I was actually thinking about it. Right, it's pretty bad, but I mean the jailbreak scene is pretty cool.
Oh wait, and the baby. I'm sorry, that was the only other thing too.
No,
And, yeah,
the baby
Jason
scene and the
Statham
jailbreak
with the baby.
scene.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scene was it just honestly it put a smile on my face. I just don't know what it is about Jason Statham. He's again, like Collin has said, he's like the same person in every movie, but just there's something about him, you know.
He plays it well.
Just,
he plays the same role well.
there's
Good at what he
this
does.
there's this charm to him. It's like The Rock, you know, like regardless of what you think of The Rock is just he's just got this charm to him. He honestly does. He's just everything he's in, he's probably usually the best part of the movie. Depending on what movie he's in, he's the only good part. It's like the same thing with Jason Statham. He's just a guy. I like him. He's just a good guy. And then I don't know if I talked about last week. Technically, So I watched the new Falcon Winter Soldier episode. Waiting on the new episode tonight. I'll be staying up for that. Again, very excited to see what happens with that show because this last episode is gonna be big. It has lots of big implications for the MCU going forward.
This is the last one for this year?
Yep, last episode comes out tonight, and they're talking about how they're leaving it open maybe for more future things. But I'm not going to spoil it because I know all of you probably are going to watch it at some point. I would assume maybe.
I
probably. I know Collin, yeah, but the last episode 5, honestly, probably one of my favorite things in the MCU to date. It was just with the whole series has been nothing but action, and then the 5th episode was just Falcon and Winter Soldier just having these really existential talks about life and coming to terms with Steve being gone. It was just a very just grounded episode. Nothing happened. There was no action. It was just them talking and dealing with life and shit. And I was like, I like this. This is cool because every MCU movie, it's nothing. Usually, it's just action, right? And then it's the first time I've seen in the MCU, for the most part, has gone very grounded and is like, you know, these are real. They're just guys, and they're sharing some beers on a boat. Just very. I was like, it's just cool to see. It's just cool to see. And then, of course, I watched. What's the movie called? Kiss Kiss.
Bang Bang.
Bang,
Bang Bang. Yeah. For some reason has not updated in my diary yet, but yeah, it's there. So Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Alrighty, cool. So I'll go next. Watched a few movies. Like Sebastian said, Fate of the Furious. Pretty bad, pretty awful. Though I don't know if it's the worst movie of the franchise thus far, but it was definitely my least favorite. And what you didn't mention, Sebastian, was just the awful cringe humor that was all over this movie.
Yeah, pretty cringe, yeah.
Definitely the worst in the series thus far. Like, Roman has been consistently my favorite character, and this movie just kind of made me hate him, you know?
I agree. I agree. I think we all can agree that Roman is the greatest family member. It's the truth.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah, Tyrese Gibbs is great. But
his character development.
I mean, does he have a character development, really?
Yeah, look at where he was in 2. Look at where he was in 2 and how he got
so.
him and Brian tussling around in the dirt, beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
To an established family member. Yep.
Established family member. But yeah, like we mentioned, the Jason Statham baby sequence on the plane was great. Definitely the highlight of the movie. Antarctic, or no, it wasn't. It was like Arctic submarine sequence. Kind of disappointing, honestly. Really only Jason Statham baby sequence. And maybe the prison breakout sequence. That was the only.
Also, can we talk about? I forgot to mention this. There was some ridiculous shit in this movie. Like they really are just don't give a shit anymore. Yeah, okay, but the thing that really I was like, hold on, what the fuck was when Jason Statham and his brother showed up on the plane and they had like the jet suits that were literally like a jet plane flying through the air. I was like, okay, what the fuck is this, dude?
That made you say what? I mean, there's so much.
Because
other
okay,
things
even-
that you could mention.
but that was ridiculous. They're at like 20,000, 30,000 feet in the air, and they're wearing jetpack suits.
I mean,
and
they
they're
had
flying.
the masks and the suits on and everything.
But is that even a thing?
Sure. This is a fictional universe, you know? I mean,
No, it's real. It's real. Okay, the family is gonna save the world, baby.
whatever. That didn't bother me. I mean, but yeah, there are some stupid sequences, but whatever. Once we watch Hobbs and Shaw, maybe we can talk about Fast and Furious ranked. Maybe we can have a little rank. So then the other night I watched The Father in theaters. It was one of the 2 films I haven't seen for the Best Picture nominations. I still have to see Promising Young Woman within the next 2.5 days.
I think you could probably skip that one. I don't think you're going to like it.
I have a feeling I'm not going to like it, but I have to watch it. I got
Fair enough.
But anyway, The Father, really good. What's up?
What? So Promising Young Woman. What you still have to watch?
Well, no, I was saying The Father was one of the 2 films I.
Oh, so now it's just Promising.
Now it's just Promising. Yeah.
Cool.
Anthony Hopkins gives my performance of the year, I think.
It's a good one.
Really, 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 really good in this movie. And it is kind of a slow burn, but it's not paced poorly or anything. I think the aspect I least liked about this movie was structurally it is very I don't want to say unnecessarily convoluted, but there are some points that you're just like, what the heck is going on, because of the way it's structured. So it's all about perspective and playing with the idea of having dementia and seeing it from Anthony Hopkins' character's perspective. So there's lots of scenes that aren't in like linear order, or they're like seem like a flashback, but they aren't really a flashback, or seem like something's wrong, and then there is something wrong because it's from that like fractured perspective. It's really interesting and a really cool, clever, creative choice to visualize, which definitely made this stand out. Like if it didn't have that unique framing device, this probably would have just been boring drama. But the performances really make up for it, and the direction and style it has is really good. And it's surprisingly really emotional. Like it's last, I'd say 10, 15 minutes are just devastating. And I was tearing up in the theaters, which I really wasn't expecting to do, but I really liked it. And like I said, I think Chadwick Boseman's going to win Best Actor, but I would be rooting for Anthony Hopkins here because I just love his performance. And then yesterday, for our last De Palma movie, I rewatched Mission Impossible, which is just such a not De Palma movie, honestly. I mean, he was obviously a director for hire for this, but it's good. I really like it. I still think it's one of my least favorite, besides 2. Mission Impossible 2 sucks. Yeah. But I still really like this one, and it started a great movie franchise. And then last night I watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which we'll get to in a little bit. And that was it.
Short ones. Yeah, I watched Fate, which, yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say it's the second worst, but then I also really didn't like the first one. I think the second one's still the worst. Like, pretty bar none. I think the second's awful, but Fate just had a lot of laughable moments. But I mean, it was 3 really cool scenes. But yeah, and then Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. All right, go next.
Nice.
Wow.
Finish it off.
Crazy job. Yeah, had a pretty good week this week. I might have said that last week. I don't actually remember. But anyway, pretty much all likes, which is crazy. Anyway, I started it off with Greenberg, one of the 3 Noah Baumbach movies I haven't seen. And hey, it's pretty great. I just think, what is there to say about Noah Baumbach? He's really good at sort of demonstrating, characters with complex interiorities. Not necessarily super likable characters, but definitely easy to sympathize with, which I think is especially true of this movie. I think often it veers towards either his main characters kind of can veer towards too unlikable, like in Squid and Will, or I like Frances Ha, but it's very hard not to root for Frances Ha. She's a great person. And Greenberg, Ben Stiller's kind of like an asshole, but it's still great. I don't know, pretty good. City Lights. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I think if it were a bit longer, I would be tired of it, but it's like 85 minutes long or something.
Yeah.
So, were you gonna say something?
No, I was just saying, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
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 I don't know. I mean, I think.
Have you seen any other Chaplin movies besides this one?
No, this was my first Chaplin.
Okay. This is considered like one of his best.
Yes, it definitely is. Which I don't know. If this is considered his best, then I might not find him, because this isn't a. I mean, it's funny for sure. It's just not like one of the funniest movies I've ever seen or anything.
Right. See, that's one of the things I like. I'm not the biggest fan of Chaplin as a comedian, but I like his directing.
Yeah. Yes, I think
that's why I haven't really cared for some of his movies.
I think that's exactly what I was gonna say. Although, like, I like the comedy, it just wasn't necessarily like a laugh out loud, like every 5 minutes type of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, I liked it, so whatever. I rewatched Star Trek for maybe the first time since. That's probably not true. I was gonna say maybe the first time since theaters, but that's almost definitely not true. I mean, that can't be true, right? But maybe it is. Obviously, I'm talking about the J.J. Abrams one. What else would I be talking about? Come on, guys.
How old are you?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, pretty good. I think this is. I mean, I guess this is true for a lot of JJ's movies, honestly. I think he's a really good. I mean, not like him specifically, but like his team is really good at like casting the right people. And I think he weirdly gets really good performances. But I think his writing can sometimes be a little grating. And I think that's mostly true in this movie. Where like you get a lot of great performances with a lot of like so-so writing. And then, on the other hand, you have like Force Awakens, which I think has a lot better writing, or like Rise of Skywalker, which has a lot worse writing and a lot worse performances. So, but I don't know. This is like a weird middle ground, but it's probably like close to my favorite JJ movie. So, I don't know. Ricky and the Flash. Oh man, so close to finishing Demi, but the rest of his movies I'm gonna have to like rent or something. So that's annoying. And all of them are like not good, probably. Maybe I'll like them though. Who knows? Truth about Charlie. Oh man. Anyway, we're getting the Flash. I guess it's honestly basically like not it's really like weirdly lit, man. It's just like what's going on with the lighting. And Meryl Streep is, I guess, bad. I mean, she's basically doing the same thing as in Mamma Mia, except she's also supposed to be like a deadbeat mom who's like somewhat like, what do you call it? Like washed up, I guess. But she's also like Meryl Streep, like one of the most beautiful people alive. It's like an extreme miscast. But I mean, I don't even know if she's bad. It's another Mamma Mia thing where it's like, I guess she's bad, but I still like her in it. But the thing that I like about Ricky specifically is a lot of the supporting performances.
Also, Meryl Streep bad is like good for some people, right? You know what I mean?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And she's just like one of those people who, like when she's bad, she kind of fits into like a very specific zone where I think she has a lot of range, but whenever she's bad, she's always bad in like a very specific way.
Right.
Which is still like inherently watchable. So yeah. And then like Rick Springfield in like his only acting role ever, which is crazy. I guess he might have been in like some TV or something, but a lot of the other stuff on here is like documentaries. And he's really good. It's crazy. It's weird. He plays her love interest, and he's like really good, and they have good chemistry. I don't know. It's a super weird movie, and it's also like basically a retread of Rachel getting married, except like what if the fuck up was, well, in the review seen Rachel, but it's like Ricky and the Flash is about like a deadbeat mom, and then Rachel is about a deadbeat sister, and Rachel is way better, but I don't know. I still like Ricky. Super 8. So, hey, now I've seen every JJ movie. It's crazy. Honestly, I might like this one more than Star Trek. I think it's, again, like a little underwritten, not necessarily in terms of like character or anything. I just think the plot is a bit like basic, but it's not like it really needs to be anything. Like it's literally an homage to E.T. I don't know how much writing you need to do for that necessarily. But it's pretty good. Elle Fanning's great, as always. And then yesterday I watched the Elaine movies, the Elaine May movies, I haven't seen yet. A New Leaf, A Heartbreak Kid, and Ishtar. And guess what? All of them are basically masterpieces. It's incredible. So I hope she gets to make her new movie with Dakota Johnson. All of these are really funny. I don't know. In somewhat different ways. I don't know. They're all kind of about like horrible people. Ishtar less so, I guess. The first two, way more so. But yeah, and then Mikey and Nikki is weirdly like the one of her movies that is not so much a comedy. It's the one that I watched first. I don't know, weird career, but hey. And then Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which we will get to shortly.
All right. You know, I just wanted to mention like something about Ishtar. I've heard a lot about Ishtar, and it's like
Yes.
over the spectrum of some people absolutely hate it. Some people think it's a masterpiece.
Uh,
I
Kiss
actually
Kiss?
wanna watch all
Kiss
this.
Kiss? Do you mean Kiss Kiss like some people hate it?
Yeah.
Or?
No, I'm talking about Ishtar, the Elaine
Ishtar,
May.
Ishtar.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's like
yeah.
it's one of those like Troll 2 Birdemic movies, like sort of
Yeah.
the worst of the decade. And it has like, even if you don't like it, which there are a lot of like totally reasons not to, like it is somewhat Islamophobic, although it's one of those things where it's like, well, is this a parody of like how racist Americans think like it would be in the Middle East, or is this like actually Islamophobic? And then I think there is like a lot of brown face. So like I understand. Obviously there are like super valid reasons not to like it. But it's definitely not like one of the worst movies. I don't know. Like even if you like hate it, like come on, man. Whatever.
I'm kind of interested
Yeah.
to see it now. So
Yeah, it's kind of like a Will Ferrell movie. I don't know. Like I was watching Warren Beatty and I'm like, this is like exactly like a Will Ferrell performance. Just like uncanny. And Warren Beatty, like not the type of person who like a plot point in the movie is about like how Warren Beatty is like the ugly one of like between Dustin Hoffman and Warren Beatty, which is like
Yeah.
completely diametrically opposed to his entire persona. It's like fuck, like it's literally insane how they're like, I'm Warren Beatty, I can't sleep with women. It's I've only ever slept with my wife, and it's like it's bizarre. It's bizarre.
it's
But
funny.
it's pretty good. It's pretty funny.
Cool. All right. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Noah, tell us about it. Why'd you pick it?
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, indeed. I don't know. It's one of those movies that I watched probably 2019. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Certainly recently-ish. And I don't know. I just really liked it the first time. It might have. No, I'd seen Iron Man 3, I guess, but it might have been my first Shane Black after that. Although he hasn't made that many movies.
Yeah.
Have
you seen The Nice Guys? though?
Yes, I have seen The Nice Guys. I love The Nice
Good one.
Guys. It's great. I don't know. I just think it's hard to get into why I like this movie a lot without getting into like specifically the details. But basically,
Yeah.
it's just like it's an incredible comedy. I think all three performances are very funny and very dramatically affecting. It's very like tough needle to pull, and for some reason, like
Val
all
Kilmer,
three performances do it for me.
Val
Yes.
Kilmer, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
Val
God.
Kilmer is incredible.
Yeah.
And
It's weird.
I think this is something Shane Black is pretty good at. The plot is like just confusing enough if you
Right.
just said it out loud in order. But like for this movie especially, and for a lot of the other movies, but especially for this one, just like the order in which you learn things, and then it's
Yeah.
like, actually, that's not true, or like that was half true, or I lied, or ooh, I forgot to include this. I don't know. There's just something about like the pacing, both of like the movie itself. Like I think there isn't really a boring scene at all for me, and then also just like the way in which you learn sort of, about the larger mystery that's going on. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just incredible. Even watching it the second time, I'm like, wow, this is still really good.
I feel like this is a movie that I'll like better upon second watch because, like you said about like the
Oh, yeah.
kind of being a little confusing. I had to pause it a couple times. I was like, wait, what the heck is happening now? So I feel like seeing it for a second time not only will like let me appreciate more of like the structural choices it makes, but just maybe even understand it better. But I feel like that's not even like the point. It's just a lot of fun.
It really is. It's so much
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Oh man. And I don't know. I think my biggest thing with it is like I said, like there's really no scene where I'm like, oh, this is like a slow scene.
Yeah.
Except for maybe like literally the one scene where he says, oh, I wonder why that scene was in the movie,
Yeah.
He interrupts with his narration to say that. But that's like a 60-second scene.
Sure, yeah. But yeah, this is the first time I'd seen it, and I have seen both of. I haven't seen The Predator, of course,
Yeah.
but I'd seen
that was
Iron Man
pretty tough.
3. I'd seen Iron Man 3, and I'd seen The Nice Guys. It's been since theater since I saw The Nice Guys, so I might need to rewatch that soon. But he has such a distinct style in his writing and even his direction too. It's very it's very like in your face, but not to like in not annoying sense.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Like this is it plays with a lot of tropes that could very easily be like very annoying. Like, oh, it's a neo noir, but it like breaks the fourth wall all the time. But that's
right.
like not nearly as annoying as it could be. Even though that's not like my favorite part about it or anything.
That's a great way of, I think, just describing his films, his style. It could definitely be annoying in how like brash it can be and how playing with genre tropes and stuff it could be, but he somehow pulls it off just because his wit and humor is so on point and it's so consistently funny and stylish. And I love the animation of the opening sequence too. Like it's just, and the music choices were great.
Yeah, like the leitmotif that keeps coming back. It's great.
Yeah. I love the homages to like the hard-boiled detective of like the 40s and 50s, but in a modern setting with like more modern humor and stuff like that. It really works. And of course, all the performances, like you mentioned, are fantastic. This probably is my favorite Michelle Monaghan performance because usually I'm not too big on her, but I haven't really seen a lot with her anyway. But,
yeah, exactly. She's in like Mission Impossible and what else? Like,
yeah, exactly. She was in one of the animated Wonder Womans I saw, and she was terrible.
So, yikes.
Yeah, but Robert Downey Jr. is, doing his thing, which he's great at. He's just great at delivering this kind of comedy and this kind of dialogue. But really, Val Kilmer really surprised me here. He was definitely the highlight of the movie.
Yeah, Val Kilmer was. I haven't seen him like in much because this was 2005. Yeah. Like he hadn't really done much. Like he just kind of like, I don't know, he just kind of vibes. I haven't seen him in that many movies as of recently, but like. He was fantastic. It was the funniest fucking part of the movie. Every scene he was in.
His performance is incredible. Yeah, and he's the sarcasm his character has, and like just almost. I don't want to call him angry, but there's a lot of like, you know what I mean? Like his character.
No, it's just like an arrogance, I guess, like a totally earned arrogance. Because he's really good at everything he does.
Exactly.
So
his character.
It's so crazy that like. Yeah, basically, like, every character you meet in this is, like, a total asshole to everyone around them, and they're still, like, so likable. It's...
Right.
Oh, man, it's crazy.
What's funny is...
the writing and performances.
This film got a standing ovation at Cannes.
Yeah?
Really?
Wow. Yeah, awesome. Which is ridiculous. But, like, yeah, I haven't been able to say much because it seems like every time we film this, the people that mow my lawn come by the window every time. They're mowing the lawn, and I have to keep muting my mic. But I've seen most of Shane Black's movies. I've seen Iron Man 3. I've seen Nice Guys, Predator. He also wrote the screenplay for the original Lethal Weapon movie. So, I mean, technically that's a Shane Black movie. He just didn't direct it. And these fucking people outside are going to drive me insane, dude.
I was really surprised this was a directorial debut. Like that, I was
pretty impressive, yeah.
It is pretty impressive. I mean, obviously he had plenty of writing credits before, so he was around like movie making. But
well, yeah, so I'm trying to figure it out because he's one of those guys, I guess kind of like Joss Whedon, who like he just did like a lot of writing and a lot of it was like uncredited and a lot of it is like really stylistically similar. And then once he jumps to directing, it's not really like a huge deal for him. You know, and it's not really like this isn't, I mean, I guess I haven't really seen anything other than Predator, which he only like sort of did some script on.
What I was gonna say was I like Nice Guys, I like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Iron Man 3 it's fine, but the Predator is how his comedy style does not work in action movie.
I don't know.
I feel like there's a lot of studio interference.
Yeah, there was a lot of studio interference, but even his vision, though, for that movie was awful.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
Again, I'd like to see him have a comeback from that movie because legitimately, when I say this, is one of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen. So, I'd really like to see him come back because this movie just proves he's really competent in what he can do. And I mean, Lethal Weapon's great. I think Lethal Weapon's like probably one of my favorite action movies. I love it, and he wrote that. So I mean, I really like this movie. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, you guys have pretty much covered it. RDJ is great. Val Kilmer is fantastic. I love the plot. It's fine for what it is, and it's just so funny. Like I thought this movie was hysterical, and I haven't laughed at a movie in a while. This got me laughing pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's really the performances for me that really just kind of sealed the deal. Like the movie's, I wouldn't say it's generic, but it's pretty basic. But it's the performances that really just take it to the next level. And Val Kilmer, dude. Val Kilmer, as you were saying, Val Kilmer is just fucking phenomenal. The one scene, the definition of the idiot scene,
Yes.
that scene's fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic.
And going off what you said, Sebastian, I really like how you said, because I was thinking the same thing as I was watching this. I haven't laughed this hard at a movie in a long time that wasn't trying to not be funny. You know what I mean? Like we have a blast when we're watching Fast and Furious.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this movie deserved it. It was appropriate to laugh. I mean, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it's like it's so consistent.
It reminded me of like a weird like Tarantino-esque God, I don't know where to put it. Have you guys seen Seven Psychopaths?
Yeah.
It reminded me of like that almost, like the same like kind of style, humor level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
sure, it's a very
Martin McDonagh and Shane Black, I think I've cited Coen Brothers as like big influences. So they so they have like the Tarantino, the Coen Brothers sort of humor style a lot, and I mean I see it, but I mean, they definitely hold their own. I think.
Yeah, it's definitely their own thing too, for sure.
I think the biggest through line between like those 3 or 4 people are all like, and especially it's true in this movie, just like a gun goes off, and then you're like, oh, somebody got shot in the head, and then they just kind of like move on to the next scene.
Yeah.
Man.
Just sort of like nonchalant violence, and
but further than violence, it's just like we're just gonna have like this guy kill a person, and then not going to be like even the remotely most important thing in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. I guess the only like issues I had, which I kind of brought up before, I mean they're all really really minor things, like just getting a little confused. I was like, it did feel a little convoluted. Not in a super detracting way or anything, but like I said, watching it again, I'll probably like it a lot more. And then this is a very minor complaint too, but in the finale, I mean, I know it's supposed to be ridiculous and everything, but I felt like Robert Downey Jr.'s character got a little too.
I got away with a little agree.
Yeah, a little too easily. It felt like, I don't want to say superhero-ish, but it just felt a little convenient in the way he was able to.
Yeah, I think it totally wraps up too easily, and it's just like, he shoots everyone on the first try. But I don't know.
He lands on the car roof and survives the bullet and everything, and then
I think it bothered me a lot less on this watch than it did the last time. Where the last time I was just like, wait, so he just like shoots the people and then that's it, and then this time I'm like, well, yeah, it's the movie I started.
Yeah,
it's just so
that's what I'm saying. Like tonally, maybe like the second time around, especially when I know what's going to happen, it'll work more.
Batman and Iron Man working together.
I didn't even think about that, honestly.
That's all I was thinking of the entire fucking movie. I was like, you have Val Kilmer's like weird like lip Batman, because that's all I can see every time I see his.
And then, like I said, Michelle Monaghan was a Wonder Woman, so I mean, we got a superhero lineup here.
You got the trio right there.
Yeah. One other thing. There were a few jokes, like, so I'm not the biggest fan of fourth wall humor and meta humor a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I was a little hesitant when it started off. I was like, okay, this could go downhill really fast. And there were a few jokes that didn't work for me, but really for as many as there were, it was like literally a handful that didn't work. So,
Yeah, I think there are a few. Like I said, the one where he's like, "Oh, why was that scene even in the?" I think that one's a little like, well, you can just cut the scene out. It's not
exactly. There was that one off the top of my head, that one, and then the one at the end where Val Kilmer comes in and he, acknowledges that he survived. And let's just bring everyone else back.
Oh, come on, that's a great.
I don't know. I thought that one was kind of dumb, but like I said, it was like a handful out of the many, like the dozens and dozens of jokes that worked. But,
I mean, there's for sure going to be a couple that don't work for everybody, regardless of the movie.
But I was just surprised at how well I did enjoy the comedy. But I mean, Shane Black, so it works.
Yeah, there's no odd, smart autistic kid, so I was really really good from that. So
sounds wonderful.
That's the Predator, dude.
Yeah, no, I know.
Fuck that movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Again, I've said that multiple times, but just every time I think about it, just.
Doesn't sound good. Probably gonna watch it though. Gonna have to. But I think especially in the first 15 minutes, I was gonna say, I think the narration works like really well for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's just something about it where he's almost, well, first of all, even before, like I guess, the reveal at the end that it's like, I guess this isn't exactly it, but it's like, there's always that reveal where it's like, and the main character then goes on to write a book about their life, except this time it's like he's making a home movie or something, which is obviously better. But I don't know. I had totally forgotten about that for some reason. And just rewatching it with the narration, I was like, but this is totally like the type of guy who would just like think like this. Like this would be the narration going on in his head anyway.
Right.
He would just be like, oh man, my life is like a goddamn movie. It's so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
I thought that
really
worked. Yeah, I liked it too. And it honestly reminded me of the Iron Man 3 post-credit scene. I don't know if you guys remember that, where
I remember the post-credit scene specifically. But
he's in an office with Bruce Banner, and it's like he's just telling this as therapy, and Bruce is like, "Why are you telling me this?" I don't know.
I don't remember. Wow, that's like crazily similar to this.
Yeah, it's a lot of similar, and that's why it made me think. I thought it was funny.
Yeah,
but I mean, there are a lot of parallels between all the Shane Black movies, especially
100%. Yes,
but they all feel so like original and their own too, which is pretty cool. He just has
this.
So.
Yeah, I think this and The Nice Guys are like weirdly similar in terms of plot, but It doesn't matter because, and like even in terms of comedy, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they're both so good. I don't know. Yeah. It's crazy.
I mean, I really enjoyed it. Thomas, did you have anything to add?
No, I mean, y'all pretty much said all of it. Yeah, it's good. Things that don't usually worked. Yeah, I don't know. Don't really have much to add.
All right. Well, if anyone else has anything to add, go ahead. But we can move on to ratings, I guess. For me, I feel like I had a few issues, but I mean they're very minor. And like I said before, I think this is a movie that could improve on rewatch. But as for now, I'm going to give it a very strong 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Yeah,
I was the exact same page, 8 out of 10.
I also am on the exact same page, 8 out of 10.
Nice.
Oh. This is still a 10 out of 10 for me. It's like I said, it just doesn't slow down at all for me. It's great. Every single joke lands for the most part. I guess maybe except for 1 or 2. It's great though.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. And so 3 8s and a 10. That's an 8.5 out of 10, which is up there. Has to be like one of the highest ones for the podcast. Definitely.
Yeah. Probably right next to Donnie Darko or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. All right. Well, that was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and Thomas, it is your pick for this next week. Gonna be.
So I'm picking something that I saw in theaters 2019. Didn't get too much attention because I'm pretty sure it was actually only released at Regals, so it didn't really get too much.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. So not too many people saw it. It's Villains, a Bill Skarsgård kind of comedy.
I've never heard of it.
I heard about this. Yeah, I remember selling tickets to it. It was only had it for like a few days.
Yeah. It was in theaters for like 2 weeks. I went saw. I liked it a lot. It's not too well reviewed, but I want to go revisit it. Remember positive feelings.
All right. Well, with that, I guess that's going to wrap up a very quick episode of the Post Pro Podcast, episode 44. We talked about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which was very good. And
very good.
Next week, we're going to review and talk about Villains. Alrighty. So, signing off.
Poggers.